How's everybody doing? Today's video is going to be a review and demo of the Tusq 1.4 millimeter guitar pick. TD 1.4, I'm guessing is teardrop. I would call this about very similar to a jazz shape, like a Dunlop jazz, but it is kind of more of a teardrop at the back. But it does have sort of a jazz type pick angle and thickness at 1.4. So Tusq obviously is known for making guitar nuts. That's how I know them. Tusq is, the way they spell it, T-U-S-Q, is kind of, I guess, like a play on an elephant tusk. Even on this package, it says man-made ivory picks, so that's one way to look at it. So it's like a synthetic Tusq sound, what they're going for. So this is interesting because they actually have this same pick in several varieties. Currently I have the white one, which is bright, and I have a tan one, which is called warm. Now, being a company like Tusq, I'm sure that that is not just referring to the color palette of the pick, that's probably referring to the tone. In fact, as I'm reading this, it says, by formulating our proprietary Tusq material, we created a new class of picks with highly resonant characteristics that produce 3 distinctive tones. So there's 3 of them: bright, warm, and deep. Tusq picks also have a high stiffness to thickness ratio for a smooth, balanced feel and clean, articulate attack, which I like because I play Jazz 3 XL. So obviously, I think their nuts are good, but are their picks any good? So here's what it looks like. It does have an elevated Graphtec logo on one side, and on the other side says Tusq 1.4, TD 1.4. So I'm going to start with this with no amp in. Right away, you'll notice I'm struggling to play, and I mean, this is a really small pick, so that's my excuse. So the footprint of this pick is very small, smaller than what I'm used to. If you like a Jazz pick, not a Jazz XL, but a Jazz, then that's kind of the size that this is in. You would probably like this pick. So without a frame of reference, I would say that it does sound bright, but I don't know if it sounds necessarily brighter than something like Ultex. It may very well be brighter sounding than something like a standard red plastic Jazz. I'm not really sure what they call those, but you know those little red standard Jazz 3 picks? It's definitely brighter than that. The grip, with the way that the text on this is raised up, is not the worst, but I wish that the surface of the pick was a little bit not quite so glassy smooth, because just where you're not gripping it, you can feel that there's really no traction like behind where your fingerprint and the grip is meeting. Like even on the very back of the pick, you might as well not be touching it, or you might as well just be holding an ice cube. It's very, very slick. You can tell that I'm not used to playing such a small pick. There we go. So as somebody who is a non-small jazz pick player, literally the way that I pick with this causes my third, or my middle finger, my fingernail, and the cuticle right there to actually hit the strings really hard. I don't know if you can tell, but it makes my fingernail like dust off and it's starting to get red. So I don't think this is going to be something that I use a lot. It was more so something to try, but it's not a bad pick. I think it's better than a red Jazz 3 because it's clearer sounding. It is definitely a bright sounding pick. It's less flexible. It's actually probably less flexible than Ultex, because now that I'm trying to flex it, it's really stiff. So that it has that going for it. So hopefully you can get a sense of the pick attack sound on the strings, kind of the way it sounds from this video. Next, I'm going to be trying the warm version of this same pick. So I'll see if there's any difference. Stay tuned for that. If you like this video, don't forget to share it and subscribe, turn on notifications, and I will see you guys next time.